is a skillful seductress, so beware if society fails to modulate pleasure's purring siren song, our very future will be dashed on the rocks. Every culture weaves tales to help balance pleasure and obligation. For example, Aesop's The Ant and the Grasshopper, which Fra Diavolo and Provençal, respectively, we've eaten. This book is such a story. In our 35 years of marriage...
36.
36. We've worked for an equipoise between duty and delight. Thus, while zealously fulfilling social obligations, we've passionately pursued food. In Thailand, we sipped snake blood. In New Zealand, we ate hoo-hoo grubs. In Iceland, we drank black death. We'll share it all down to our ultimate meal.
Ortolans.
Ortolans. The story starts 5 years ago in Marseille. After a sublime lunch, we're off to a legendary cheese shop when, psst, monsieur, from an alley slides a man we'll call Maurice. He has teeth like Indian corn. Mon ami, he says, have you ever seen an ortolan? He slips from his pocket 2 birds. These can be yours, he says. Yes. We blurt in incredulous, ecstatic unison.
Ortolans are tiny French songbirds. Many French consider them the world's most desirable food, and many call the meal sacred, bringing the eater closer to God. Most, however, look askance at eating such lovely and mellifluous creatures as if we should only eat the ugly and the off-key. You are good.
Thank you.
So, in 1999, the French declared that eating these endangered ortolans is illegal, a prohibition echoed in America where consuming them can lead to jail. And despite that, we press on. For 5 years of delayed gratification, we bred and fed our mini flock. One generation would provide some, but not all, the required birds. However, we never settle. As always, we battle for the best ingredients, and at last, hallelujah.
At last, we've perfected the protein, and now our ortolans are so robust, we can hardly keep them caged, bursting with fat and meat and flavor.
Yummy.
And tradition demands that we eat it by biting off the head and gently lowering the rest into our mouths, focusing senses by draping muslin cloth over our heads.
And now, with each chirp, our ortolans are begging to fulfill their destiny.
And it must happen in this razor-thin window when ingredients are prime. The climax
to our book,
our lives. We
eat ortolans. See, you are a great writer.
Don't know if I don't get published.
I don't know. Isn't that enough?
No.
That guy Winslow is interested.
Yeah, from interest, the contract is a country mile. If we don't publish...
You'll still be Dr. Marcus Carnoff, the dental pioneer whose Carnoff tooth massage saved millions who otherwise would be reduced to eating nothing harder than succotash.
Some lines, but a vast pink frontier. What a blessing, those 37 med school rejections.
We could self-publish.
No, it's cheating. It feels like...
Prime polenta.
That's right. Well said. You know, Andrew marvels to his coy mistress, but at my back I always hear time's winged chariot winging, hurrying near this book. This book can be a monument that withstands the ravishes of time, and I'll do what I must to get it published. This testifies that once I was here, even though I rot in my grave.
Wow, you're fun. Depressing even for you, Marcus. What the heck is going on with you?
Oh, nothing. It's...
After 36 years, you could think you can hide anything from me? You remember the last 2 times that you tried?
Look, Jen, it's not, hey, look, I'll tell you after the ordinance. There's poetic justice in telling you then.
Okay, I'm holding you to it.
Consider me held, but you promise 5 days.
5 days.
The ideal place.
The ideal ingredient.
You will touch eternity.
Eternity. Once this book is done,
we'll start a new volume. One that'll pulsate with vibrant new chapters.
the old ink always bleeds through, though, don't you think?
I think this metaphor, if we drive this metaphor further into the ground, we're going to hit China.
Grammy!
Kitty!
Gramps!
Wow! You look so much bigger.
Much.
I was here yesterday.
You must have had a growth spurt.
You're a sprout, which reminds me, sweetie, could I exchange that PB&J for a nice little salad escalope turbo au gratin?
Gag City, Grammy. Now, if you had my KFC...
You eat so much fried chicken, you'll turn into a fried chicken.
I wish you'd let me take you to KFC sometime.
No, thanks. I choose life.
Gramps, I love in-service days because you're the best sandwich maker in history. Man, I'm famished.
Yeah, didn't Mom make a good breakfast?
No time, so I had a Pop-Tart.
A Pop-Tart.
Our daughter?
A Pop-Tart?
Where did we go wrong?
Pop.
But Mom had to be in early to do the heart and lung transplant on the Secretary General of the United Nations.
Yeah, she has time for her fancy surgery, but ask her to throw together a simple frittata.
Randy, understand, you're a car and your fuel is food.
You are what you eat.
So if you eat a Pop-Tart,
You are a Pop-Tart.
don't they teach you about nutrition?
My Miss Todd teaches me everything. She's super smart.
Oh yeah? Smart as me?
As smart as I. She's smart like you about poetry, which she loves too. And she's a food expert like you. She even has this huge website called vegantastic.com.
Maybe she can blog about our book.
But it's vegantastic.com. She's a vegan.
Oh, yuck. She voluntarily cuts off all the heavenly taste sensations that
That make life meaningful.
I wouldn't want to live in a world without bacon. Does she foist her vegan agenda on you kids?
No. Though when I mention my fried chicken love, her lip twitches. But that's nothing. Because here's what's the best about her. She never lies to anyone.
Well, that just sounds like bad manners. Does she talk to you about the value of taste, of texture?
Or smell?
Do you celebrate these sensations?
I don't think Miss Todd has these sensations. Maybe because she's an orphan. Plus, she has to concentrate so hard all the time to control this huge learning disability. Well, she's pretty serious.
Oh, she sounds pretty scary.
I love her.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I'm sure she's Jim Dandy.
Did she teach you about the food chain?
Not yet.
The food chain's the priority in which one animal consumes the next, and man is at the tippy top, and nobody's eating us.
And a view from up here.
It's good, so good.
All creation stretching out below like a robe cascading off your shoulders, your royal shoulders. Each stitch, one animal biting the tail of the one directly below. And us, we're king of the hill. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, I'll be right there. I'm sorry, ladies. Dental emergency.
Aww.
You're a periodontist. Did a gum explode?
Uveitis is a silent killer.
Kim's on vacation.
Misty's available.
Boy, Misty's like gorgeous.
She is a supremely gifted hygienist.
Right there when you need a periodontic probe. Hey, I'll go with Gramps.
Really?
You know where everything is.
Better than you, Grammy.
Good. Would my company cramp your style?
I have no style.
Be back soon. I'm at the end of my cell.
Bye, guys. So they said these birds were terns and they were going to release them, but they didn't have a license and could go to jail if anyone found out. I knew there was something weird because they never ever let me go down there. I swore I wouldn't tell, but in my heart, I crossed my fingers. And when I looked it up, Miss Todd, I love my Grammy and Grams, and I gave my word, so I feel like a tattletale. But when I saw what they were doing, I didn't think that was...
Randy, you did the only thing you could. I will handle this.
Thanks, Miss Todd. Of course, I understand why you're vegan, but I also understand why they eat as they do. Heck, I eat birds. And I'm sorry, I ate a ton of KFC. But this, when I weigh things,
Lesson 1. You can always count on me, Randy. I'm your teacher. I taught you both to honor your word and to protect your fellow creatures. And now you're trapped in what sightless visionary John Milton called the speech opposite. Well, I won't let you get ripped asunder, okay? It'll be fine, right, Miss Fuzzy? See, I'll take it from here.
But you won't call the police, because if you do, if they
Randy. Randy.
Prison because of me,
Randy.
I'd kill myself, Miss Todd, and I can do it. This is America. I can get a gun.
No, nobody goes to jail and nobody gets killed. You give them a call, and I will do the rest.
And what if they won't free the birds?
Randy. Lesson 2. The most recalcitrant student just lacks the appropriate lesson.
So you won't call the police?
No. On my word, and honesty is my thing. In fact, once when I was your age, I realized I was given too much change, and at the time I wasn't blessed with boots, so I trudged 2 miles through a blinding blizzard just to return what wasn't honestly mine. It didn't matter that I froze off half my heel, quashing my dream of life as a ballerina, or that it was gut-twisting agony. It was virtuous agony. That 27 cents would have burned a hole in my pocket and a hole in my soul. Lesson 3. Sometimes agony gives greater pleasure than pleasure. No time. As we speak, they could be chewing bird.
Perhaps our greatest exploit was in deepest Kenya, where we were drawn by rumors of a fish named the Sami. This fish can only be reached by climbing a mountain so daunting that calling it life-threatening is an understatement. Another caveat. The fist-sized Sami has a storied ferocity. Next to the Sami, the piranha is Gandhi. Further, eating the fish is challenging. It's caught and still alive. It's scaled, and then the consumer places this small, vicious fish in his mouth, fixes his teeth near its collar, and drags teeth over bones. It's an explosion of taste, and yes, it's highly dangerous. The Sami is one tough little cookie. Sometimes it regains consciousness. And one tribesman had much of his face gnawed off by an extremely disgruntled Sami. That brave man, however, went on to become a legendary, albeit lipless warrior.
Thanks for sharing that.
Arugula strudel, samosa and fresh mango chutney, avocado quesadillas, all vegan. Please.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is magnificent.
Thank you.
Brilliant cook.
Clearly.
And he's a brilliant eater.
Clearly.
My followers would love this, Jenny.
Well, let her share some recipes from our book.
Why not? Indeed. I'm so glad that Randy got us together here. There's synergy, don't you think? In fact, why don't we start with a little interview as an amuse-bouche?
A Vorspeise never hurts.
Jenny, you redefined my universe.
How lovely.
So, food, it was one of the things that brought you two together?
We were both raised out in Riverhead, but his promise to take me to Greenwich Village and La Tulipe won him that first date.
Yeah, she was immediately drawn to me.
But went nuts for the apricot souffle.
And I've happily enjoyed second place for 36 years of marital
marriage.
Thank you. Marital marriage.
Obviously, you two had children.
Yeah, 3 marvelous children, which is not bad out of 4.
Howard.
Homer.
Clay. And they've given us 16 grandchildren.
Read like Mormons.
So, Jenny, your mom, I assume you inherited your skills from her.
Her mom served so many frozen TV dinners, they called her Nanook of the North Fork.
But that indifference to cooking did inspire my need to feed and nurture my family.
And
you, Marcus?
We had a chef.
His parents own the tracks that I was raised on the other side of.
They had resources, but much was demanded. Although what might have seemed harshly judgmental, if not downright sadistic, has inspired me to aspire.
And achieve.
A man's reach should exceed his grasp.
Or what's a heaven for?
Learning. I learned long ago that the passionless life is not worth living.
And your passions?
Food, poetry, dance, gums.
Very bad jokes.
Scintillating jokes. And my beloved.
Necessarily in that order.
No, sorry. Deviated symptom.
What's that?
It's a dishwasher. It's a Bosch, but it...
That was a bird.
Are you seeing things?
One bird.
When we invited you for high tea, young lady, we didn't think you'd arrive high on tea.
I am aggressively drug-free, thank you. And that was a bird.
Okay, that was our cockatiel. Polly, want a Melba toast?
Look, we're just raising some birds in the basement. Yes, without some silly papers. They're these wonderful lowland terns, which are endangered and need help in finding an environment to support their mating.
One good turn deserves another.
This is just our little project.
This is just your little meal. Please don't insult my intelligence.
And insult your outfit instead?
That's not funny. And that bird was an ortolan.
Okay. Good eye. You're smart. Yeah, it's no big deal, though. In 4 days, we do what any foodie does, pursue the premiere sensation.
But because they're endangered, if anyone knew that we were doing this, it would just...
But they're not endangered. They're endangered.
Oh, come on. There are at least 400,000 pairs. That's more than the population of Minneapolis, St. Paul.
No one whines about endangered twin citizens.
Dr. Carnoff, I look into your wise, kind, sympathetic eyes, and I beg you to reconsider.
Beg all you want. We eat those birds.
Look, you don't understand.
But I do. You net these beautiful songbirds. You whip them right out of the trees, and they plummet to the forest floor. You poke out their eyes. And then you feed these poor blind things mountains of millets and figs until they engorge themselves, until they're 4 times their normal size. But if they don't grow large enough for you, you force feed these poor little creatures. And finally, you drown them in black liquor.
Wait. What if I told you that
What?
It's hard to say
Try.
that this is the last wish of a man on the edge of dying from a brain tumor the size of a Meyer lemon.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry that you don't have a brain tumor, do you?
Well,
Do you?
not as such.
You lied?
Marcus only asked you how you'd respond if he told you that he were dying. He never said that he was.
Fairly hypothetical.
But even he doesn't know that he is dying.
What?
He's dying. I'm dying. You're dying, but barely aware of it. From the moment you're born, you begin to die.
Deep, we the dying are battling to grab a few shards of pleasure before the grim reaper
Reaps us.
This is not pleasure. It's perversion. And you know it's wrong because you put a cloth over your head when you eat to hide from the eyes of God the atrocity of devouring his sweet little creatures. You chew each carcass for 15 minutes, blood and guts and bones, the sweet little birds. When I was young, I used to save a crust of bread for my meager dinner outside of my foster home. Risking a whipping, I would sneak out and hand feed these delicate creatures. The joyous chirps drowning out the growls of my empty stomach. No ortolan dies on my watch.
Now I see what this is.
What?
Anti-Semitism. J'accuse.
Okay, this is crazy.
I'm crazy you?
No, now listen, Dr. Carnoff. I have never been, nor ever will be, nor could even ever imagine being an anti-Semite.
Denial, the final twisted recourse of the racist.
Look, Shannon, our granddaughter says that you're very sympathetic.
I'd like to think so.
Then you must see that this book is the linchpin of our life and our marriage, and that the last chapter hinges on this ultimate meal, these birds.
Okay, I'm leaving, and I will be back to check on their well-being and that they don't have any accidents.
And their quality of life. You wanted to look into their quality of life, the birds.
Even with 20/20 vision, they'd still be birds.
You're a man of medicine.
Yeah, I am.
And you, Jenny, you're a mother, a grandmother, and a chef. You're a nurturer, right? So you're both about alleviating pain.
Yep, we're human Advil.
Then how can you cause other creatures agony just for pleasure?
Because I'm a man of science also, and I know how things work.
Even in a litter, one cub demands and receives the most warmth, the most food, the best shot at life, and one cub is just pushed aside.
It's a vulture munchie. Hey, talking about birds. We saw this thing on PBS last week, you remember?
Sure.
One of your birds, your holier than thou birds, lays this egg, see? And this for a few weeks, this bird what is it called? I don't know, call it the weasel bird. He scopes things out, letting her egg age and develop, and then she spots her patsy, this little bird. Let's call this bird the putz bird. This little putz has just laid 3 eggs. Your weasel bird waits till the putz leaves to get food and then carefully sneaks its more mature egg into the nest. The putz, being extremely bad at math, comes back, notices nothing. Weeks pass while the weasel luxuriates and preens, and the putz, well, an egg up your butt ain't a day at the beach. But finally, bang, the weasel egg hatches. Get this, when the putz is out to maximize its chance at survival, still moist from its birth, the baby weasel instinctively shoves the other eggs out of the nest. And you see it. On the forest floor, pop, pop, pop. An omelet of death.
Okay, but shouldn't humans reach for the more humane? How would you feel if somebody ate Randy?
Not good.
Shannon, Your problem is that you just
You
don't.
don't see the difference between a 9-year-old girl and a Cornish game hen.
Well, I would rather kill a bird eater than a bird. I would rather smite an evil man than a righteous chipmunk.
No.
Oh, are you going to stop me from going physically?
No, of course not. She is. In 20 minutes, she can field dress a warthog.
Don't make me prove it.
Are you threatening me? Are you holding me here against my will?
Oh, relax. This is Scarsdale.
The old Docky Mark, whose light comic banter turns a necrotizing pus-filled abscess into a laugh riot. Take my teeth, please.
Shannon, you're our guest.
Very much our guest.
It's like a bed and breakfast, but too many to go out.
Play Scrabble.
We'll discuss life and what I'll cook for you.
Oh, you could use a few pounds.
This is crazy.
Eccentric, we're loaded.
We'll double your salary.
Triple each day.
Each day? How many days do you plan on keeping me here?
3 days. That's all. It's Friday, meal Sunday, stay the weekend. Leave Monday. It's a long weekend.
Oh, but when I leave? And when I tell the authorities?
Sweetheart, I treated the chief of police's daughter.
Remember her mouth?
Bigger tusks than Dumbo.
So are you
Scrabble, anyone?
Are you going to limit my freedom? Are you going to tie me up?
You want me to tie you up?
Shannon, this isn't something that we approach cavalierly. And in fact, it's our deep respect that inspired our vow to eat the birds in the classic way.
Cloth over our heads is not a shame. It's part of the ritual, like a nun's veil.
Or a woman at Shabbos.
Yeah. The great chef Jean-Louis Paladin said it's really like you're praying. See, like when you take the mass into your mouth from the priest's hands in church and you think about God.
Back in 98, ex-president Francois Mitterrand had a final meal for 30 friends. It included oysters and foie gras and ortolans. The birds were the last food he ever ate.
Knocked off too. This moment will be the apex of our lives. In the book's dedication, we invoked a favorite poet, Juvenal, who wrote, "Rare indulgence creates greater pleasure."
Greater pleasure.
Little birds are lined up.
Bite off and discard the head.
Place the hot ortolan feet last into your mouth.
Let it rest there and breathe in and out and in and out.
Out, in and out. And then this lets the lustrous fat flow freely down your throat.
Then chew. Through the wings and the breast.
The legs and the thighs and the first burst of sweetness from the rich flesh.
The glory of God's love.
You chew.
You chew.
The bitterness of the organs.
The suffering of Jesus.
And those tiny bones. They cut the mouth. And in your own salty blood, we taste tears.
Christ's tears for his pain and for ours.
Our tears over paradise lost.
And God's tears of joy for having created such amazing things. And the tears all blend.
And our thoughts blend.
And we become the ortolan.
Feel the Mediterranean breeze under our wings.
And we see through his eyes that we stole. We sing his song.
We live in God's mouth.
Lay on eternity's tongue.
One swallow.
And it's over.
I wanted to find God, and I found something else entirely. You go.
You always go first.
Well, please.
Okay. Wow. This is, wow. What a crazy, crazy thing. Crazy. The ultimate meal, they said, and they were right. They were right, damn it. I ate the scrumptious birds. As I ate the scrumptious birds, pleasure washed over me. Once more, this ocean of food transported me. Once more, I knew why I battled for the sublime. And even as I was relishing these transcendent tastes, even though I was here in the present, I was also in the past, linked to all the extraordinary meals we've eaten and will eat. As I chew the flesh, I realize that the drive for pleasure is good, is life-affirming, and only imagination limits pleasure. This isn't the end. It's a new beginning. Only imagination limits pleasure. These birds steer me to a path I must follow, it to more pleasure. It's a new beginning. No matter how earth pulls me home or pulls me under, or age clouds my vision, this drive to pleasure fixes my eyes on the horizon to future possibilities. Okay, boss, batter up.
Yeah. Well, I put the ortolan in and chew and feel the hot fat pouring down my throat, scalding, salving, the Armagnac filled hard, and the lungs burst between my teeth. It tasted the fatal sweetness. It was so, I don't know, it was so...
Yes?
I can't quite... Words fail me. I fail words.
Yeah. So first,
I
what?
I need to.
You said first impressions matter.
They do.
So, what is it that you expected?
I expected. I hoped to discover God.
And
I discovered something.
Yes.
Else, but not God. I eat the bird, I open my soul to God, a toy with my happy meal, ravish me, batter my heart, three-person God, but no God showed up. Though as I chew that bird, I kind of feel like a God, and the upside, I guess, is no God's up there, so, well, nobody's keeping score.
So, what did you learn?
That what smacked me in the face is, here. You know what? The birds were incredibly succulent. Screw cosmic insecurity. Let evanescence spur us to pleasure.
Let evanescence spur us to pleasure. Yes. Hey.
What?
You were going to tell me something.
Yeah, I don't remember what it...
Of course you do, Marcus. 5 days ago, you said there was poetic justice in telling me something after the feast.
Now.
So much for your promises. After the feast, you said that...
It can't.
Fine, Marcus. Well, don't bother. I know.
Know what?
Everything, Marcus. Everything. I saw the gym membership in your wallet.
But...
And yesterday when you thought I was out, I saw you in the walk-in closet doing something that I have never, ever seen you do, something wholly unnatural. A push-up. How could you?
I thought I was alone.
36 years, I know. You and Misty, that slut doesn't just handle your dental tool.
I know I messed up before. I'm sorry, but now this will flip you out.
Flip me out? I'm a New Yorker.
This is
Tell me that you're fucking a farm animal. I'll ask what species. That you're becoming a woman. Welcome to the sisterhood.
It's even.
That you're becoming a Republican. Okay, well, that would be tough, but I would soldier through. So come on, Marcus. Take your shot. Bring it on. I can take it.
Okay. I'm going on a diet.
God in heaven. God in heaven. God in heaven.
My doctor said my cholesterol level would actually go down if I replaced my blood with bechamel. If I don't radically change my eating habits, he says I'll die. I'll die. There's no choice, Jenny. Yeah, one choice. Would you rather have me pursue a strict diet for the next 30 years or eat as we have and lapse into a butter-induced coma for the next 3? Well?
I'm thinking. I can't believe that you come to me with this.
Jen.
This filth. Diet is just one letter away from die.
I'm sorry.
Food is our everything. It binds us together. Food is our panko. Okay. 36 years. You're right. Wow. No choice. Well, we'll do what we have to do.
Thank you. So,
I guess it's over. Our glorious food quests kaput.
we're falling. Wow.
Boy, I'll miss them.
Me too. Hey, there's solace in that we've eaten pretty much everything, haven't we?
Pretty much.
Bat in Indonesia,
Dog in Korea.
cat in Hong Kong,
Fried monkey toes.
hermaphrodite frog gut soup.
Even deer placenta.
Yeah, that was some damn good placenta.
Holy moly. Marcus. Holy moly.
What?
Don't you see? Don't you see?
What? See
The
what?
one thing that we haven't eaten. That single ingredient. If we eat this, it'll be complete.
No, you said spam is lethal.
One last exploit. We deserve it. We've earned it. Your odious new diet justifies it, my love. Food has always galvanized our lives, vivified our marriage, and besides, with no discernible God, how can any notion of right or wrong be absolutely absolute? Marcus, we're on the cusp of a canyon, and we gaze into the abyss. Listen, you can hear the whole universe shout. Jump. Hear it howl. Let evanescence spur us to pleasure. And hear it echo. Let's eat the teacher.
What?
Let's eat the teacher.
No, that breaks moral laws and man's laws and God's laws.
Come on.
It's forbidden. Forbidden. Besides,
What?
if you're going to eat anyone, it should be Chris Christie, maybe a Kardashian.
Hey, if we are backed into your diet, we sure as hell have to grab what might be our last chance to reach Epicurean together.
Teacher eating.
Let evanescence spur us to pleasure. You said you felt like a god, then Be a god. God isn't forbidden anything. In fact, he forbids usually anything that's fun.
Cannibalism is antithetical to the core, the very essence of what it means to be human.
Kinda. But I think this is absolutely not absolute. There's some wiggle room here. Come on, sweetie. Haven't you ever wondered what human flesh tasted like?
What normal person hasn't?
Are you prepared to go to your grave with this gnawing curiosity disturbing your eternal sleep?
No. No, here I draw the line. This is forbidden.
All right. Fine. Fine. We've eaten some amazing things.
Yeah, we have.
Living things. Even a beating baby wallaby heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you've already eaten a whole lot of things that are forbidden.
Yeah, this is the most forbidden.
Right. So correct me. It's only a question of degree, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, I read this article that human tastes like steak tartare.
Really?
With a hint of juniper berries and mandarin orange.
Juniper berries and mandarin orange. Huh.
And what about the Donner Party?
It did it for survival.
Yeah, but I bet even after their lives were saved, one or two helped himself to an extra slice of Ezra. Hell, Marcus, there are traces of eating human flesh that go back as far as the Neolithic period of the Bronze Age. Instant orgasm.
You're having one?
No, the article said eating human makes for instant orgasm.
Instant orgasm. That would be extremely convenient. Oh, wait. What if we secured someone newly departed?
This protein must be pristine. You know I demand the optimum ingredients. And talk about once in a lifetime, we know she's been eating purely and she's drug-free.
Yeah, she's like a free-range human.
Besides, she's miserable. When you hear her talking to that stuffed toy, you know she's troubled. We'd be helping her. In fact, we would be relieving pain.
So I violate my Hippocratic oath if I don't eat her.
She's safe. Locked in that panic room, fattening up on my cooking like an ortolan till just the right moment. Yeah, she's lean, but treat her like Kobe cattle, ply her with beer to fatten her up and mellow her out, paint her with sake to sweeten the meat and massage her to tenderize her, and we get that lovely fat marbling. And we just throw her on the grill. God, my mouth is like watering.
Oh, sweetie.
Let's do what keeps us chugging. Join in a journey that the bourgeois fear. Step over the line that the dull dare not approach.
Cannibalism, honey. Cannibalism. I mean, you know how much I love you, and God knows I ache to make you happy, but...
We know what and who you love.
Jen...
You love this. And this.
You are everything to me.
Sure I am. You know, people have written about ortolans before.
Everything's been written about.
Oh, no. Not one thing.
Jen.
The one thing that will get this sucker published.
Jen.
You said you'd do anything to get in print.
So we kill her, eat her, write about it, and I'm in Sing Sing married to Big Tony.
No. We say we met this guy whose identity we can't divulge, citing reporter's privilege. With brilliant specificity, you'll invent a credible, compelling cannibal. Babe, you've got the talent. Hell, you've got the passion, the craft, the vision, and now you'll have the platform. Now they'll see it. Sweetie, it is jaded out there. With so many stories, you've got to provide the unique. They'll celebrate Marcus Carnoff. When you deliver to this dog-eat-dog world, it's perfect parable. One life's a paltry price to pay for art. I offer immortality.
Let's eat the teacher.
Hi, everybody. Fantastic. I'm thrilled with you guys. And let's get it cast and writer and folks. Everybody come on back. Thank you guys for also sending in some questions on the Q&A. And I'm going to open up our chat as well. So great, guys. Really wonderful. So to our audience, you are free to raise your hands. We'll go for like 10 minutes or so if you have any questions. I will say, Devon, your fan club is out there. You have Jen Almiron, who says, "Go Devon!" And then there's a question actually for the, we got a lot of, that was amazing. We have a question for actually the playwright, for Bruce. Are you familiar with season 2, episode 11 of Hannibal, or are you maybe a big fan of the book Hannibal Rising?
No, never heard of either of them. Okay,
all right, good. Jen also says, Devon, you were so activated. How was it acting in this medium?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I love this script. I started to, Todd said, read the whole thing and let me know. On page 2, I went, I just love the script. So when you have a great script, and then when you have an amazing cast, I mean, getting to work with Richard and who I'm only a fan of, and everybody else, and Todd, who I do, I mean, let me just say it's hot in my house, okay? So that's the big drawback of this medium. But it's wonderful to look into the eyes of these actors and get to do this in quarantine.
That's great. Yes, it's hot here too, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. The only person who looks cool is Allie. Allie, you can unmute yourself, by the way, so you could just chime in whenever you like. I'm going to go to Sharon Shane. Sharon, you are unmuted.
Unmuting there. Oh my God. Devon, I agree with you. I love this play too. When you said, let's eat the teacher, I laughed out loud. And Richard, oh, you are my heart. You know I love you. We've worked together so much. This was just wonderful. Okay. I just think it was so appropriate for now. There are so many quotable lines from this. You know, I'm thinking food is our everything. God's tears. You say I'm going on a diet. And the Putz bird, over and over, there were so many. One day, then I thought, God, I have 3 kosher chickens in my freezer right now. No, but the reason I think it's so appropriate, especially right now, is food has become our everything. And food, God, you know, people, because they're not going out, they're becoming gourmet cooks. And what's her name, that woman on The View that I love so much, that comic, she said, I'm having so I can't social distance from my refrigerator. So I don't want to go on and on because I want to give somebody else. And the little girl and the teacher, charming.
Oh, awesome.
Not only charming, but appropriate for now, meaningful. And again, I didn't know you were an actress. You wrote that wonderful play. So it was really good to see you do that. Richard, so thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
Thanks, Sharon. So appropriate for today. All I keep on thinking is, first there's toilet paper, now everybody's going to run after each other to eat each other. So I don't know. Alan, you're up.
Thank you. God, I loved it so very much. I love Bruce J. Robinson.
Kind of all time.
The sense of language, the playfulness of the language, the playfulness of the ideas. I mean, it's elevated language, and it's elevated ideas that are dangerous and at the edge, and it's funny and a little scary. Richard, I think you're magnificent. As you know, you're a great actor. It was such a joy to see you here. I love your glasses. I don't know the other actors, but I just thought you all were wonderful. Really, really fun and great chemistry. Good work, Todd. Really grasped the play. Yeah, I love the play very much, and I think it deserves lots of attention, and I really look forward to the second half. So all very healthy and well. It was really a joy.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks so much. And yes, there will be next week, next Friday, Act 2. So this week is Act 1, obviously. So just so you know, Allie, is this your first online? I know Allie and I know each other from the musical world, but have you ever acted online before, on an online stage, where you weren't singing and dancing? This is it, huh?
No, I have not. I've all been like musical theater with encore and stuff. So
got it.
Yeah, this is my first play with no music or dancing, and it was a lot of fun.
Good.
It was fun.
Don't go away. You did a great job. Yes, you really did a great job.
Thank you.
Yes.
So amazing. Like I was sitting there and listening to you guys, and I'm like, wait, are they acting or are they being real?
Oh my Lord, Allie, you're amazing. So
thank you.
And Emily, you're in from Wisconsin, yes? You're a little long distance.
Long distance playtime. Yep. It's fun. It's fun.
But you live here in LA.
I do. I live in LA, but I took a trip cross country and landed in Wisconsin at my grandma. If any family is on right now, they recognize this kitchen. Yeah.
Right. And see, and that's sort of the upside to Zoom. It's wherever you go, we're going to find you. And then, you can't.
New York.
Exactly. Exactly. So if we're just hitting 6 o'clock, if anybody has any more questions for any of our cast, Ann says, family is watching, Emmy. We have a lot of looking forward to Act 2. Very engaging, great job, cast. Ditto to Bruce. My cuisine is rather bland. Okay. Yes, lots and lots of compliments. Oh, Gina, we're going to go to Gina Costa really quick. Gina, so just unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello, congratulations to everyone. I'm just, Bruce, I became aware of your work last time with the 21st century protection situation, which was hilarious. And I am being a playwright myself, I'm a massive, massive fan of deeply twisted, needed language. And the idea that I found myself horribly laughing at this wonderful, beautiful, cute little girl saying, I can commit suicide. I can do that. I can get a gun. And I was like, oh, America. Bruce, you took me somewhere I didn't think I'd like, but I kind of dug it. I really dug it.
Thank you.
And then when Emily said, how would you like it if I ate Randy? What if I ate Randy? I was like, okay, game on. So it was such a thrill and a pleasure. I can't wait for Act 2. And congratulations to everyone. It was really, really fun.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Means a lot coming from a playwright.
I'm telling you, that line is, this is America, I can get a gun. Throughout rehearsal, every single time, I laugh every single time.
Yeah.
So, Allie, you just knocked it out of the park with that. All right, with that, I thank you guys for all sticking around. If there aren't any more questions, you know, what I'm going to do is we'll say goodbye to everybody only for 1 week. Act 1 will be back online by Sunday. So revisit, if you have friends who have not seen it, tell them to go and watch it online so they can jump into Act 2 and know exactly where we left off. And oh, wait a minute, we have Paul. Paul just put just in the nick of time. Paul, you're on. You just have to unmute yourself. Paul, I can't see your last name, but it begins with an SCHL.
That's my Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul, you just have to unmute yourself.
Uncle Paul.
There you go. You're on. Go ahead, Paul. You're on. Uncle Paul, just speak. You're good to go. Uncle Paul.
Talk, Paul.
Your mic is live.
Nah.
I swear your mic is live. Everything's working from this end. Paul. All right, if you could type it into the chat. Type it into the chat really quick, and we'll read it to the audience. Okay, while you're figuring this out. Oh, this happens every once in a while. Last week my mother called and nobody could hear my mother, and she couldn't figure it out either. So, all right. So Paul, Uncle Paul. All right, you're gonna have to tell Allie. Wait a minute. We have what great acting, great directing. That's not from Paul though. Okay, Paul, I'm speaking really slow. Let's just say goodbye. All right, to my cast and playwright, I'm gonna send you guys a quick link for a quick wrap up. So you'll get that in about 3 minutes. Up. Under the wire, Jean Pangaro.
Oh, that's my grandma.
Oh,
Great.
let's see.
I guess they both can't figure out how to turn on the mic.
Grandma, you just have to unmute yourself. Jean, just hit the unmute. Bada, I unmuted. So, oh my goodness, these things happen. You just have to unmute. You're so close. You're so close. I'm watching you blink right now. On and off. Jean, hit the unmute button. Paul, you're still unmuted. Oh boy.
These things happen.
What can I say? Technology.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So.
You can come back next week and comment.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
So we'll do it next week. Okay, guys. I'm going to send you all a link to audience. Thank you all again for coming out. We had a really great house. Remember our tip jar if you feel so inclined. If not, don't worry about it. Come back next week. We'll see you soon. Next week is Act 2, same cast. All right, guys. To my cast and playwright, you guys are amazing. I'll see you in a few. Okay?
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.